Hey, it's been a little while. I can't remember when the last one was. Time happens. I don't know what to tell you. I am back to do another Flosstube. I'm just gonna say right off the bat that there's not gonna be as much stitching in this one. I mean, having said that, I do still have like 4 or so projects. But I have got back into knitting and crochet quite a bit, and then also have been doing a bunch of stuff as well. Popping in here to say, because I forgot to at the beginning, this is post Flosstube Hazel. My best friend has just started a Flosstube channel. It's more of like a craft diary type thing, because like me, they do a whole bunch of crafts, including cross stitch. And if you're interested in that kind of thing, you should go check them out. They also do like punch needle as well, and rugs and things, and soap making, and it's really cool. They are Invisible Goats, and I will put a link down below to that channel. Well, so I'm just gonna go, but I know some people like to see the other stuff as well, because we're all multi-craftual people, right? So I am gonna do the cross stitch first, get straight into that, and then show you the other stuff. And I've got a little bit of a natural dyeing vlog at the end. So, oh, I'm Hazel, by the way. Hi. I, like I said, haven't done as much cross stitch in the past few weeks, but I do have a new start. But I'm gonna start with the one, the only Death by Cross Stitch, which will look like this. And this is what it looked like last time. And this is where I have got to. So I am almost at about 25% now, I think, with this. So I'm almost a quarter done after a year and a half or so. But this is just still really fun. And I completely finished this section here with this zigzag pattern and motifs, and I'm almost at the edge, so there's just one more like little partial bird here, and then this is the edge, and then there's a little bit of border, and about here is the other edge of the whole design. I've almost made it all the way across, and then I just have to go all the way down. So that's going to be fun. And I mean that literally, it is going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm really pleased with how this is coming along. I'll just pass that along again so you can see. Oh, and this is on a 40 count natural linen using 1 strand of silk from Mrs. Status on Etsy. Project number 1. I have also worked on my Chatelaine. That is the Alhambra Garden Mandala by Chatelaine Designs, and it will look like this. I'm so excited, it is amazing! I always talk about this, but I've been wanting to do one of these for years, actually years, and now I am, and it's amazing. What way up does this even go? Okay, so I've completed the centre part, apart from the beading and the special threads, which I'm kind of dithering about whether I should put in or not before I'm done. Anyway, here it is. Look at those colours. so beautiful. Love it. And yeah, so I'm just not sure whether or not I should put in the special threads. I'll just go grab them. Yeah, so this is the thread that's meant to go in some of these parts here, and it's a silk. So I'm really not sure whether or not to put it in because it's a pearl, and so it's a little bit thicker, and I'm using a hoop and I don't want it to get damaged. So I definitely can't do the beads yet, but I think I might get away with these actually because I use a wrapped hoop. So I wrap a ribbon around the outside of my hoop, which does have an effect on tension. It's not quite as good, but it protects the stitches better in my personal opinion. So I think I might be alright. I might get away with it. We'll see. I think I'll do a little test area and try it out. But I'm really excited to start on the fountain paths and the building and move into the larger part of the design next time I work on it, which will hopefully be soon because I really wanna. It's just so many fun things to do. There is a flaw in this plan. I put everything on a chair so that I would have it, you know, here instead of normally doing what I do, which is just lunge forward because everything's on the table. But now I'm just gonna have to rummage around on the chair. Anyway. The next one I worked on is a kit from RTO called Bringer of Stars. It's by the artist Amanda Clark, the artwork. And this is another favourite of mine. This is what it looked like last time. And I'm really excited about what I got done this time because this is what it looks like now. How beautiful is that? So I did this back stitching on the wing and it looks great on camera. I mean, it looks good off camera as well, but like, oh, yes. And then I put in these leaves around the outside and backstitch those and some more down here in this part and in the face of the owl. So it's really coming together. It's about half done-ish. So I wanted to finish this year. I don't know if I will. I've got 4 months left, so we'll see. I can count. Yeah, that's what that looks like. Yeah, I'm just loving everything that I'm stitching, which is convenient. And then I did have a new start, which I started today because I've just had a bit of a week. Okay, so I'll try not to get too much into personal talk. We'll keep it brief. But I went camping at the weekend with my boyfriend and another couple, and we're all fully vaccinated, which is why I thought it would be alright to have this little weekend camping trip. You know, it's the first time I've been on holiday in a long time, like everybody, you know. So yeah, just a little weekend camping trip. And it was really nice. It was fun. Quite cold in the night time, but yeah, we did fun stuff. We went hiking and cooked around the campfire and just things like that. It was a really great time. And then on the day that we got back, we got a text that evening from one of the other couple who has COVID. Like I said, we're all fully vaccinated, so that was a bit of a surprise. Although, you know, I know you can still get it if you're vaccinated. So I've basically been isolating in my room all week and waiting for the results of a COVID test. And I am negative. I did another test today, a lateral flow, and if you're in the UK, by the way, you can get those for free. Just order them from the gov.uk website and they will send you 7 lateral flow tests for free to your house. Yeah, so I did one of those today and it is negative. And I'm just waiting for the PCR test back to confirm. But hopefully it'll be fine. My boyfriend has tested negative as well. So it's just this other poor guy and his fiance that both have it, unfortunately. Yeah, so that was a whole thing. So I've just been confined to this room all week, and I don't know what I'd do without my passion for textile crafts because it has kept me sane. And I've been doing a lot of reading for my university course that starts next week. But yeah, just not being able to go out in the fresh air is not a fun time. And on top of this, I'm not making this up, there are wasps in the walls. There are wasps in the walls of my house. Or as my mum put it when she told me the other day, there are wasps in the void. By which she meant, you know, the space between, because I'm in the attic room, the space between my walls and the walls of the house. So I've just got to make sure all of the hatches that lead to the attic storage are fully secured. And she was just like, yeah, if you wake up in the morning and you hear a bit of a buzzing, don't worry, they can't get in. Really, really hope they can't get in. Apparently they were getting in through a breeze block, and then, like, I don't think we have a wasp's nest yet, but they've sorted out the breeze block anyway. Oh, and there are also angry bees in the garden because my dad harvested some honey and left the, you know, box outside for the bees to, like, clean all the remaining honey from the frames. And they just didn't leave. It's been like a few days. I think they're starting to disperse, but, like, basically there are angry bees outside our front door as well. So it's been a time. Anyway, basically I decided to start a kit that I bought about a month ago. So that's my haul as well. Just the one thing. It's a kit I've wanted for a long time again. And it's a Christmas themed one, which will be my first Christmas themed cross stitch, which is why I started it today, because I wanted to start it when I first got it. But I just can't stitch anything Christmassy in the summer. I can't do it. That's just how I am. I know a lot of people love Christmas in July, but I just can't do it. I'm a very seasonal person, and where I live we do get very distinct seasons, so I cannot get into the Christmas mood in July. I have to wait for autumn. So anyway, this is it. This is what it will look like. It is The 12 Days of Christmas by Bothy Threads. And I've basically been stalking this for ages until I found it for a really good price. And got it. And what I love about this are the colours. They're very sort of traditional Christmassy colours. I do enjoy a bit of Christmas. And it's a kind of Celtic-y style. So I looked up the artist who did the design for this, who's called Catherine Rowe. And she actually designed these 12 images as a set of stamps for the Irish Post. That's what they originally were, and then they were converted into a cross stitch by Bothy threads, which is really cool. I love that origin story. So yeah, they're stamps. And they've been quite ingeniously converted to cross stitch actually, because I don't know if you can see here, but there's a lot of couching in this fine pearl thread around here. Oh, and there's also these little star sequins. I don't know if you can see those, yeah, and beads, and I'm just really excited about this. It just makes me happy. Yeah. I do like a bit of, cause Christmas, so we're not a religious family, although we do celebrate Christmas, like many people in the UK. And what the kind of vibe I get is like we would always do stuff like bring in holly and ivy from outside to decorate all around the house. It's quite so we've always had a bit of a sort of pagan Christmas vibe, I guess, very very winter solstice-y. And you know, like candles and all sorts of little like we can get, there's a place we can get like real mistletoe from. There's loads of it in a field near our house. And making gingerbread and like, yeah, just a lot of stuff like that, which this design very much reminds me of. And of course, Christmas carols. Like, even though I'm not religious, I love Christmas carols. It's just, I don't know, it's just something about the same thing that has been sung at Christmas for like centuries. So it's just, I like them. Anyway, so I started that just today and it's really cheered me up. I mean, I like these bright colours. They're so much fun. And that's my little start on it. So I decided to start from the corner because I just didn't want to do all of that frame, and I started the partridge here. There is an awful lot of gold DMC metallic in this design, or at least I think it's DMC. It feels like the DMC metallic. I can't be sure, it might be anchor threads or it might be, I don't know if Bothy Threads like has their own threads that they use, but there sure is a lot of gold metallic and it's horrible. But I have found a way to make it marginally easier to use, and that is just running it through a piece of beeswax a couple of times before you stitch with it. And that seems to just make it a little more, it doesn't fray as much in the eye of the needle, because the first time I did it without that, it was just fraying where it had been folded over in the needle, and it just, and the ends would like fray all the way down as well, and by the time I got halfway through the thread it was just awful. So I thought, because with sewing threads sometimes you wax them to make them easier to use and stuff, so I tried that and it seems to make a difference. It, in my opinion, it makes it easier to stitch, so I'm going to do that. But this, all of this number one is gold metallic, and all of the frames as well, so yeah, that's going to be interesting. But I'm just really enjoying it so far, and we'll see how far I get before winter is over and I just lose all Christmas cheer, like some kind of screwed on a time limit. Anyway, that is the stitching. And also some rambling. I've been doing a bunch of knitting and crochet. I've done a bit more on one of the shawls that I showed you last time, but not that much, so I don't think I'm going to show it. But what I will show you is a new project, haha, again, that I started in the last few days, because it's been getting me through being stuck in here. And it is a Tunisian crochet shawl. I really enjoy Tunisian crochet. It's an interesting fabric, and this is going to be difficult to show you because it's curling up a bit, and it will until it's got its second row in, but hopefully you can see this design. Oh, the colour's coming up quite well. So it's these like swirls. Now it took me a while to find a pattern that would match with this yarn. This is Mandala Uruguay Merino lace weight yarn. It's a lace weight single, which is I think they do kettle dyed yarns. They're like a fair trade dye workshop in South America, and so this is a very variegated yarn. And if you've ever used one of those, you know it's quite difficult to find a pattern that will work well for them. I bought this just because I love the colour so much. It's just so like vibrant. This is one of my favourite yarns in general. They have a lot of amazing colours. And with lace weight you get a lot of yardage for your money. So I like lace weight projects. And yeah, this is all swirls and some little ones at the end. Yeah. So this is about halfway through the edge of the shawl, which is this swirling pattern. I could just show you what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to look like. It's a pattern called Selkie by the designer Aoibhe Ni, who is an Irish crochet designer and specialises in these Tunisian crochet shawls that can be made without a Tunisian crochet hook, just a normal hook. So a Tunisian crochet hook is a crochet hook but with a long line on it, like a long cable on it, because in Tunisian crochet you create a really tall chain of stitches and then you work up and down on that. So all of her patterns can be made without that. You just need a normal hook because they go in short like rows, which is fun because I love a modular construction. It makes you feel like you've like finished something when you finish each part. So yeah, I really enjoy her patterns, and this one is the Selkie. So it's got these swirls around the edge and then you fill in the middle of the shawl. And I was a bit worried about this at first. I thought you wouldn't be able to see the pattern, but actually I think it's going to be okay. I think because of the Tunisian crochet, the kind of fabric it creates, it breaks up the variegation a little bit. So you get, I think this pink is sort of the dominant colour, and then the direction of the stitches as well. I think it shows the swirls, and when it's blocked it will show up, I think. So I think it's going to be a great shawl to wear with dark clothing. I think that will show up the pattern, so I don't know if it's yeah, that's difficult to show on camera, but you get the idea. And that is just really fun to do. It's nice now and then to do something which is actually quite complicated to learn, but then once you get the hang of it, it's doing that same thing. So once you can do it, you can do all of it. It's really fun. I've got my little peppermint tea. And then I've been working on a spinning project as well. So I've really been getting into, my goal is wanting to spin for garment making. So that means being able to spin consistently, and basically being able to spin what weight of yarn I need for the garment. I do also enjoy making the more like art yarn type things, but I really want to be able to make garments that fit me as well. So I've been practicing a bit, and my first garment for myself that I'm going to make out of handspun yarn is going to be this. This is a vest pattern from Fabel Knitwear, who is another knitting designer that I just really like. Pretty much all of her patterns. And I thought this would be a good first project because I love a vest and I don't really have any. So there's that, and then also it only uses one skein, 100 grams of 4-ply yarn, and so this is the first 50 grams I have spun. I have 100 grams of, actually I have 200 grams, but I have this Blueface Leicester wool, which is a British breed. It's very soft, not quite as soft as merino, but still pretty soft. And this is the first skein. This is, I need to make 2, and this is the one. So this is a 4-ply. I've actually managed to hit a 4-ply. With the help of this handy little device I bought, which is a spinning gauge or a control card, and it gives you, so you can check the thickness of your yarn as you go along, which is very helpful in keeping it consistent. And so this is a consistent 4-ply, and it's so bouncy, and I'm just so excited about it. It's I say 4-ply because in the UK that is what we call fingering weight, I think is the American term, or sock weight yarn, but it's actually 3 plies of yarn, so 3 fine threads spun together, which makes it stronger. So I did 3-ply because, of course, got to make it harder for myself, but I wanted something that would have definition as well. This was spun on my spinning wheel, not the spindle. And the second one I've got 1 bobbin done, and then I've just got to finish the second one and spin this onto a 3rd bobbin, and then I can ply them all together. So yeah, so for a 3-ply you have to spin, separate your fibre into 3 and then spin each part onto a separate bobbin and then spin them all together onto another one, which takes a fair bit of time. Yeah, especially when you're trying to spin very fine, it just takes so much time. And obviously I enjoy it, and I can listen to audiobooks or watch TV or something while I'm doing it. But yeah, I'm just taking my time with it. And then the next step will be dyeing. Now, I have decided that I would like to make this some kind of purpley colour. And I considered doing that with elderberries, but they're not a very colour fast dye, even with a mordant. Considered blackberries, again, not that colour fast. And I'm not sure if like a garment that I'm going to wear a lot is one that I want to test that on. So what I'm going to try is hibiscus flowers. Now, this is 500 grams of hibiscus flowers that I ordered from a whole food company online. And I did not realise how much 500 grams of hibiscus flowers would be. So these give like a red mauve colour apparently, This is what they put in a lot of teas, a lot of fruit teas, to make it red. And also, like, it's used in some traditional teas as like a herbal tea, sort of good for you kind of tea. And you can use them as a dye. Red, mauve, going towards purple tones. So my plan is to use the hibiscus flower and just a little bit of iron water to darken it, and hopefully get some kind of purple on this yarn. I will update you on that. I will try and film the process and we shall see what we get. And then after the dyeing step, I can actually start knitting. So a really long process just to get this one little vest, but one that is really interesting to me and that I'm enjoying, and just the process of doing something start to finish is just really cool. So that kind of brings me to the end, although I am going to put in a little, I dyed some Wensleydale fibre, some wool, a couple of weeks ago, and I did make a little video of the process, so I'm going to put that in here as like a little dyeing vlog, and then I'll show you after that the result. So here you go.
This picture was taken that last evening before summer's end, then turned into a postcard that I'll send you if you'll let me in. Oh, I can't let you go. Those little moments that only we know. Oh, I can't let you go.
is what happened. And I kind of have no idea how this is going to show up on camera. I think you're getting a green, although if I bring it back it looks big. It is really hard to capture the colour of this wool, both on camera and in real life. It's not exactly what I was going for, which is a stronger green, but it is green. In some lights it looks really beige and uninteresting, and then in some lights it's this really beautiful goldy green colour, and then sometimes it's just more of a soft green, and I don't know why. I was a bit disappointed with it at first, but it's kind of growing on me. I promise I will show you like a dye experiment that actually gets a colour that isn't green one day. Hopefully the purple, but yeah. So what I'm going to do with this, I think, is spin it. I want to spin it into a lace weight, and then I'll see how I feel about it. If I don't like the colour, I might over dye it. But it really is growing on me, actually. It's quite, yeah. Anyway, I'll keep you posted on that as well. You can follow me on Instagram at solarpunkstitches if you are interested in spinning, dyeing, weaving, knitting adventures, as well as cross stitch. I do post all my cross stitch updates on there as well. Yeah, I've had a lot more time for that stuff recently, because I'm taking a break before I start a master's course, but that starts next week, so I anticipate having less time. Anyway, thank you very much for coming to hang out with me for a bit and listen to me talk about all sorts of craft related things, and I will see you next time.